The journey so far. In the beginning, death sought the Crowfather. But what he found was something more. A secret once forgotten. A path to another world.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of Darksiders II. I'm Neg Primer, and we are picking up where we left off. It put us a little bit outside Vulgrim because we went into this area. It put that as our safe position. And this game does have those little cutscene things. I may or may not start off each time I sit down to play with one of those. That wasn't as useful as I had thought. Oh, come on. I thought that would be a lot more useful. And that was kind of vague. But a lot of times they will actually do everything that you've done in the game to the lead up. So, we already passed by one dungeon that we will not be able to go into until quite a bit later. So I'm going to kind of highlight that a little bit on this episode, I think, as we make our way to the Fire of the Mountain, whatever the name of that dungeon is. You can see there's all these little nooks and crannies where, you know, there's not a whole lot out here other than that chest.
This is no place for a horse.
This is no place for a horse. But yeah, so there's gonna be all kinds of things like that. Here, see this little blue crystal up here? That is actually a collectible, I believe. I don't think it serves any purpose other than being collectible. Yep. You probably get experience points from it as well. Let's see, here we have another area called the Nook. This... well, I'll keep that thought to myself for the moment. Suffice to say, this is not where we're supposed to be at the moment. Hello. There's this cool thing here. I believe this... okay, maybe not. Yeah, this is a dungeon we'll have to come to later as well. I think there is at least one dungeon that you have to, like, half complete in this game. And I'm thinking this might be it. That you don't have to actually finish this all the way through in order to beat the game. You can see there's all sorts of nooks and crannies in here that you don't really have to go to, at least at any given time. It's a little bit more open world than the last game. It's not what I'd consider completely open world. Ooh, yeah, we can't do this yet either. However, there's a Book of the Dead page here. Vulgrim wants chapters, so I have to collect 10 pages for the first chapter at least. Yeah, so there's stuff up there, but we can't get it until we have a way to reach that, because we can't wall run far enough. But I could go through here and do a lot of fighting and stuff, and you get experience for killing these guys and leveling up and all that stuff. But I don't really need to do that. As I mentioned in the past, this game is actually really easy. I'm gonna kind of pan around and look, and hopefully that won't make you guys a little bit too like seasick or anything. Oh, hello. I only have one wrath potion? Well, damn. Can't dodge away from that. I have to dodge to the side. And what I'm saying is, I'm not really actually sure what of these I can go to now and which I can't. Even though I have played this game in the past, it has been quite a while. Oh wait, this this wood beam right here I can climb up. Oh no! I messed that up. There's glowing crystal up there. Once again, I'm not actually going to try to get all of the collectibles in this game. I might look into which ones give me a good enough bonus for it. But you can see we've already got 3 different kinds of collectibles. We got those blue crystals, we got Book of the Dead pages, and we got boatman tokens. Hello. Attack. Ah! You hit my horse! I need to crit in order to get one of those guys in one hit. Boatman token. That way is another dungeon. I believe it's an optional dungeon, but I'm not entirely sure on that. This camera's doing some weird things right now. Let's go up, up, up. Okay. There's another. That one's actually a red crystal. Well, it's blue, but it's got a red glow to it. I've collected a possessed weapon. Possessed weapons are interesting. They gain experience when items are sacrificed to them. They're actually really interesting. Oops. So I got these possessed claws. So they don't level up on their own, they only level up when you feed them. So, if I wanted to feed them See, it gives. If you look on the right there, it gives you right above where my cursor is. It says level 2. That is actually experience. That's the amount of experience it gets for eating these. And when you do, they gain experience. And once you level them up, you can actually decide what special ability to give to them. And I believe that's entirely based on what you fed them. It's a rather interesting mechanic. I've seen it done in the past, but you don't see it done very often. There's a chest over here. I do like this whole having chests on the map
Impossible.
by default. Okay, that's not what I thought was going to happen when I did that. Cha 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 cha. So I have this instead of the axe now, so I have a really fast attack. As opposed to the slow attack of the axe. I think the first time I played through this game, I actually spent a bunch of time going through and killing all of these guys.
This is no place for a horse.
Yeah. But, I guess I'm smarter now. No, the bottom line is this game's actually pretty easy. It got a lot of criticism for that fact, actually. I'm okay with it. We talked about this in the past with the Prince of Persia one I talked about last episode or the episode before. I don't mind a game being easy and not having a death state and stuff like that. It's... So what? Like, death is almost always completely arbitrary, anyways. We got rid of life systems in games, for the most part. Mario still uses it, but even there, it's like, why? This is kind of just a waste of time to even have that. But here we go. Cha 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 cha. Snicky snicky. It's supposed to be like Wolverine, I guess. Wolverine, of course, being one of the worst X-Men. Oh, that's right. I'm full of controversial opinions.
A rider has come to the realm.
Not another one.
You're the Nephilim, the one they call Death. How did you get here?
Took a wrong turn. It appears I'm stranded here with the rest of you.
If you seek the Cauldron, you should know that it fell to corruption fair long ago. I can still feel the fire itself rumbling deep in the earth.
I'll take my chances. You're different than the others. Less pleasant on the eyes, for one.
Ha! I could say no less for you. Folks around town call me Pup or Lad, but I prefer my own name. Calm.
Pup it is, then.
As you will. Matters not to me.
Why not restore the fire yourself?
I came here just for that purpose. Figured I'd pop the cork, so to speak. Be the hero. But the Cauldron is locked up well and tight, and the way through is swallowed by fire. You look capable enough. Perhaps you can find a way. I'll wait here and guard the entrance. Say, if you're headed in there, you mind doing something for me?
Yes, I mind. Aren't I doing enough already?
Perhaps. Though it seems to me you're doing right enough for yourself. Our benefit being a fortunate side effect. Well, if it ain't much trouble, I left an old metal platter in there, with the image of 2 hammers scribed in the center. Not much to look at, but it was my journeyman piece. Last thing I ever forged.
A dish? You want me to bring you a dish?
Yes, well, it has sentimental value. If you find it, I'll make it worth your while.
So it's really weird how it does that. That one, I selected a thing called a favor, and it initiated dialogue on this guy's behalf, Karn. It's really kind of strange how it does that. You don't see that very often with games, and I would say for good reason. Why am I doing dialogue choices for myself and for the other guy?
Your shaman has offered me a talisman if I bring her the materials.
You'd be wise to accept then. Her craft is mighty powerful.
Where do I find Stalker's bone?
You'll find stalkers prowling the Cauldron. Should be simple work if your name is any indication.
Okay. So he says it's locked up tight, yet clearly the door doesn't seem locked, at least. So we're gonna go ahead and but one thing about having the possessed weapons, about having one of those in your inventory. Oh shoot, that was stupid of me. That counts as a death, by the way. Speaking of games being really simple and all that, the game will actually count that as a death. But yeah, he said it was locked up tight, but look at me just walking in. All of these doors are locked, of course, but all I gotta do is this. See, and I mentioned this in the past series. Making the camera, like in the first Darksiders, it would have detached the camera and shown the door unlocking. It didn't need to do that because it just ensured that I was looking this way, and did it. So they got a little bit smarter with the camera in this one. Not perfect because they still do that. It's not necessarily a huge issue when they do a little intro sequence, but every single time. Shadow bombs. Do I have something to throw the shadow bomb out right now? I don't believe I do. Shadow bombs will take care of these crystals. We saw them in the first game, but these are actually like corruption crystals. As opposed to whatever they were in the last one. They were red. So we'll get a little ways into this dungeon before we cut the video off. Yeah, I still would like to make the videos as close to... Yep. Okay, game. I'm trying to remember, these actually might not go off until I've had the chance to throw them. But yes, I don't know if I finished that sentence earlier. The whole thing about having a possessed weapon is that if I become overburdened, then I can just start feeding stuff to the possessed weapon to make room. And that way they don't go to waste. Okay. I don't think I can make that jump. Actually. Oh. Aim is a little awkward on this. I suppose I did level up and I haven't put those points into anything yet. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm not going to worry about updating my armor on a regular basis. Or every time I pick something up, I should say. I will do it on a regular basis. That did not put it in anything. Oh wait. So put it in something. See, L, B, and Y in order to do these things. Okay. Okay. It is what it is. It's kind of an interesting game because it is almost an examination in other games' design, rather than being its own design in any way. It doesn't really try to break the mold on anything. But everything from the map, if you look at the map down on the bottom, it's a very Zelda map where paths you can go are labeled green, paths you can't go are labeled red. The rooms that will show up, so let's actually come out here and look at it. The rooms that will show up, the only rooms that will show up are the ones that you've been in, unless you have the map. In addition to the map, there is also a compass, which I think actually they might have gotten rid of the compass in this game. I'm not entirely sure that they even have the there we go. I'm not entirely sure that they have the map in this either. But it's a rather interesting experience. Because of the fact that it does take so much from so many other franchises. And it's still tutorializing a bit on the bottom of the screen. It's a bit different from the last game. Yeah, I don't think this explodes until I throw it. Sorry, I was giving a little bit of a pause there to see what happens. Why that demanded that I be quiet, I don't really know. But it did. Don't ask questions. Shh. Okay, I believe I can jump this way to get down. But that, over there, we cannot get there. We don't have any ability to get over there. Kind of dramatic about showing these guys coming up, which is weird because we've already seen them. Cha cha cha. Ah! Okay, I need to not be in the middle of you two. I don't know, I think what I like to do normally is have some claws like that regenerate health, and then have these be the damage dealers. I believe is what I've typically done in this game. So I can do that until I get health, and then finish them off. So that's really the only purpose of this room, is to have a little combat arena. Okay, we do still have the dungeon map. That answers that. You might also remember in the last game we were killing crows for health. We no longer do that. we have a little crow ally this time around. I'm gonna use health here, because this big room looks like a thing. Ooh, and then we got one of these guys. Actually, it's not the same as the ones in the last one, but it's pretty similar. You might remember them from the last game. They had big horns and stuff on them. Oh, I got stalkers, but I'm killing that guy. Alright. And I think if I don't heal, I die. I think it is gonna be that kind of game. Ooh, he's got a key for me, a skeleton key.
See what you can find.
Summon dust. Dust being my bird. My boy. So we came all this way for a key. Okay, I heard a noise. That's interesting. So the map shows a stairway out over in this direction, but clearly there's not one there. So presumably that goes down. It either goes down or they have a continuity error. Alright, so here we get a little something something. It does show a chest back over here, but it's got to be up behind that thing, where the boatman token is. And then we have this thing. Which is another interesting mechanic that we've seen plenty of before in the past, not noticeably in Portal, where it accepts, instead of rolling a ball around, you pick it one up. I believe Mario Galaxy did something similar as well. Yeah, they're not the most original in creating all these mechanics, but it's pretty interesting to me how they paired them all together and made them all actually fit into a single game world. There we have Vesuvius. There we have an erupting volcano, constantly erupting volcano. Mount Doom. I don't remember what they called it. The first one had a couple names to remember, and I had a hard enough time remembering those. This one kind of cranks that up. I'm gonna grab this, which apparently is nothing. Oh wait, stuff fell out of the behind. So how are you all doing today? I hope you're enjoying your week so far. Mine has not yet really begun when I'm recording this. Mondays are kind of a slow day for me. So I'm now on the other side of that, which that's back in the main room over there.